Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth, and fancy seeing you here in June. I'm very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. Hello there. I'm Chris Chibnal, and season 12 of Doctor Who is over. Did you enjoy it? I don't need to know. I don't need to know. Because, I always say I don't read reviews. Oh, what reviews? I lied. Me and Jodie often sit on the sofa with a bag of popcorn and some fizzy sweet cola. And we always delve into what you people think. So we are going to... Who's this? Neurotic Channel. Oh, he looks angry. Let's see what he has to say then.
Can't rewrite history. Not one line.
Of course you can.
Then when it came out and then, people and the fans and we potentially from the figures got new fans.
It's Jodie.
I could have set us back.
Nerdrotic.com.
Last Sunday, Doctor Who had its last Jedi. Last Sunday, Chris Chibnall took a dump on Doctor Who canon like it's a San Francisco sidewalk, and I'm not going to bury the lead here. Yes, the rumor I reported on was true. That rumor was that they would make the Doctor originally a female and retcon the Time Lord's past. But they went way beyond that. They destroyed the Master, the Cybermen, the Time Lords, and this entire show in one single episode, and disgraced the spirit of William Hartnell. Before we get to the complete and total destruction of one of the most beloved franchises in history, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking and sharing the video.
What? I destroyed Doctor Who? Yes! I love it. I love winding you people up. This man's from the Phantom Menace, and these people are so easy to annoy. Should we carry on? This is so good. Jodie, cup of coffee, please. I don't care if you're a woman. Who told you I cared?
It really does help, and I thank you for your continued support. Others have created blueprints for sacrificing your franchise on the altar of agenda, but Chris Chibnall has perfected it, and he did it all for nothing. That ratings boost that they were expecting was minimal, and now this show is averaging all-time lows for the entirety of Doctor Who. But that's not going to stop the BBC. They remain resolute. Piers Wanger, who runs all this crap, has said that Doctor Who has never been in a better place editorially, meaning they're getting their agenda across. We don't need any viewers. So how did we get here? How did a once beloved franchise that a few short years ago was one of the most popular shows in the world turn into woke drivel? Well, this is what happens when the entity in charge of this show doesn't have to service them.
Oh, they think I'm woke, do they? I was pretending, Mr. Nerdrotic. Nerdrotic, where does he get his name from? Nerdrotic? Has he even really ever watched an episode of Doctor Who? I am so brilliant. I have annoyed this bearded little fool.
Customers, that they get a revenue stream that's extorted from the British population. For those of you here in the States, and especially those of you here in California, imagine the DMV running a TV show, especially one you love. Chris Chibnall is not known for his levity, and he is completely incapable of writing anything fun, but the bitterness does show through. I believe that the last 2 seasons of Chris Chibnall's Doctor Who has been a giant middle finger to the fandom, and he wrote that middle finger into this episode. He mocks and patronizes the fans, and as I did with Game of Thrones, I want to apologize to anyone who I got into this show. I'm sorry it ended like this. Now, this is such a mockery of this show.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Nerdrotic. Oh, Gary, did you suggest people watch Doctor Who? You're part of the gang, aren't you? You're not really a right-wing fool who kisses the butt of the Orange Man, are you? You're a friend. Everybody, Nerdrotic and me, have aligned our allegiances.
Oh, I don't really count it as canon, so it's not going to ruin any of my previous enjoyment of Doctor Who. But if you're on the fence about watching this show, don't. And apparently, a lot of you haven't, so good for you. We pick up where last episode left off. We have the Doctor, Ryan, Barristan Selmy, and diverse guest star with no name standing at the barrier as the Master inexplicably arrives. He was in another dimension, but somehow he got out. Maybe later in the episode they'll tell us. Also, maybe later on in the episode they'll tell us how the Boundary got there. Maybe later on in the episode they'll tell us what happened to the humans that Barristan Selmy led through the Boundary. Maybe later on in the episode they'll tell us how the Boundary leads to Gallifrey. Maybe later on in the episode they'll tell us how the Master destroyed Gallifrey. Spoilers, they only kind of answer 2 of those questions, but that's because they're way too busy
Oh, sorry, Gary, but I'm never going to tell you anything. You see, I am the Doctor Who showrunner, and I can do whatever the fuck I want. I only took the job on because Stephen Moffat got me drunk on whiskey, and I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I annoyed all these Doctor Who fans? Hilarious!
destroying Doctor Who. Some of you may have noticed that the Doctor isn't involved in any of the action scenes from the last 2 episodes. She is separated from the fam, and currently the fam is separated. That is done, so
there was actually a good reason Jodes wasn't involved in the action scenes. You see, we played a spot of golf, and I whacked her in the knee by accident, so she had to stay in the Matrix. But it was all CGI, don't worry. She was actually sitting down the whole time. In fact, she actually was asleep.
They can surround the exposition dumps that are dumping all over the canon with mindless, meaningless action to fill time. On the cyber ship, we have Graham, Yaz, strong female leader guest star, who I don't know the name of, cowardly male guest star, who I don't know the name of, and another strong female resistance fighter, who I don't know the name of. Uh-oh, somebody better call BBC Diversity HR. These 3 guest stars are white. They run from the Cybermen, and of course the strong female
White? Excuse me, Alan, I told you about that. Oh, I don't know how people are going to think we're so right on if, well, we're not really right on. Let me explain something to you. You're the fans. You're my fans, right? We're not really right on. That's just part of the game, isn't it? I've got to look for more reviews. This man's boring me now, and he's an American, and you know how I feel about them. I'm back, bitches, and I've found a good British YouTube Doctor Who channel called Who Addicts Reviews. They should be fun. I think we should support us Brits. So let's have a look what they've got to say. You know, I can't actually see the play button in these glasses, but these are my favourite pair. They're actually sunglasses, and they help me see as well. So they're brilliant.
It also, to me, kind of disrespects Hartnell as the first Doctor. And what confused me even more, where the hell did Ruth's Doctor play into all this? There's just so many unanswered questions in my head about all of this. It just doesn't work. Like at first when the story started, so I was saying, right, that's Ruth's Doctor. That's the Timeless Child, that's Ruth's Doctor. And then all of a sudden he said the Timeless Child to you. I was like, oh my God. Oh, why do it, chibnal?
See, someone tweeted us and said it doesn't change anything because the Doctor and the name of the Doctor or the pledge of being the Doctor was only started by Hartnell, so he technically is still the first Doctor because he's the one who took on that name. But he isn't. And this wasn't, forgive me if I'm wrong, I don't know if I missed something or if it was just badly explained in the episode, but are we to believe that Ruth was before she was the Doctor during that whole regenerative thing?
That's what I'm confused about.
Was she the Doctor who was on, part of all them lives that woman was experimenting on, so she technically is before Hartnell, right?
It just makes no sense.
And if she is, then that means that Hartnell isn't the first Doctor. But then if she is,
Oh, this is too funny. Oh, this is a great YouTube station, much better than that Yankee Doodle boy. Oh, but they're so funny. You're asking me where Ruth comes into the timeline. Like I know. Do you think I actually know? I made it all up. It was something that RTD and Moffy came over for some drinks. Oh, and Gats, you know what Gats is like. And we had a few drinks, and Gats said, wouldn't it be funny if we fucked with the fans? So we came up with, it was all a joke. But what happened was, oh, Gatty's such a character. He faxed them. He emailed the scripts to the person. I don't know their bloody name. And it went through. And then Jones got it and everybody else got it. And Sasha the one, I don't know what happened there. I was down McDonald's and I bumped into Sash and next thing, he was the master. You see, this is how these casting situations happen. You people just don't understand what it takes to run a TV show. The stress, the hard work, the vodkas, casting people, sharing the same bed as Jodie. That's how her casting process happened. How did you think it happened? I actually cast her because she was the best person for the job.
That means, how the flipping heck does she have a TARDIS? Hartnell stole the TARDIS.
And also what I'm confused about. So in the Judoon episode...
It's a bloody mess.
In the Judoon episode, Ruth is Doctor. So when that woman didn't know about Gallifrey being destroyed. So now all of a sudden they're meant to be... I don't know. I'm totally lost.
The whole thing is an absolute mess. And I know it makes the Morbius Doctors canon, and I know that's one of the longest theories that people have wanted an answer to. And I know there'll be a lot of people out there that love the idea, but I've said from day one, and I stand by it, if you're going to do something like that, just at least do it for a reason.
Exactly.
But I can't see an underlying reason.
I told you the reason. Me, Gat, Moff, and RTD got off our faces. That was the reason, my friend. Don't you people understand? It's just a bit of a laugh, isn't it? Especially the reaction. The reaction is fun because I see all you losing your shit. And it's amazing. Oh, dear.
For why he's done this. Has he done it just for the sake of it? Because, like I said, it didn't affect the episode at all. It didn't take anything away or add anything. It just helped the Doctor burst out the Matrix. After that, she just cracked on with things. So, what does this add? Unless they're going to follow it up in Series 13 and explore it more. I just don't know. I don't know what this adds, or it just feels hollow. It doesn't have any substance to it.
It's just a mess.
It feels unnecessary.
It's just a mess.
That's the word I'll use, unnecessary. Like,
it's just an utter
please,
mess.
Chibnal, justify why you've done this, other than because I can and I want to just lay my...
Hang on.
I mean, you certainly have.
Shut up. I don't have to justify myself to you, mate. Mate, listen, I am Christopher Chibnal. I created Broadchurch, and if I want to redefine the canon of Doctor Who, I effing will. But don't you understand? We were pissed. Mitigating circumstances, people. Please. Oh, dear.
Mate, but I personally think it's a terrible idea.
like something Moffat would do. Like, why can't we have a night's finale that's action-packed?
Without this, it would have been a perfect finale.
Without all this utter trash, it had... Oh! Chibnal!
See,
I am losing my mind over this because I'm so confused. It just does not work. So why do it?
See, because it's, and again, I don't know if we've missed this or if it was just badly explained. I still don't know where Ruth fits in.
I don't.
But I now don't feel like Hartnell is the first Doctor.
No, I don't.
So I'm turning and looking at my Doctor Who DVDs right now, and I feel like I've been lied to. But I just feel like if you're going to do it, you've got to have a reason behind it. And the show's called Doctor Who.
Yes.
It's always been called Doctor Who. That question.
Well done, young man. You know what the show you're watching is called. I tell you what, you don't get much past this, young man, do you?
Mark, who is this time traveller? Who is this man? Who is this woman who travels around time and space? Now, we always get cool little
Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares who this man or this woman is? We put some music on, we put some fancy CG, and we just make it. Nobody actually cares. Nobody actually cares. The whole thing's a joke. I don't know. Oh dear.
Bits of who the Doctor is, which is absolutely fine. And when we do, it's awesome. It's like a big deal when we find out the tiniest thing about the Doctor. It's like, oh, because the beauty of this character is that we have travelled with this character for 57 years and we still don't know.
Hang on a minute. This young man's been travelling with the Doctor for 57 years? He must have the regeneration energy, but not given by the Time Lords. He must come from the world the Doctor originated from. This young man must be used and filleted. Yes, I shall find him. I shall find him, and just like what Tek Te Yoon did, I will do the same to him. Hope you enjoyed the video, just a bit of fun. Follow me on Twitter @MoviesTVMad. Comment down below, and I'll be back with more Doctor Who videos. See you again soon.